already know the man. I have accompanied His Majesty the King for 9 years in exile.
I know him well enough, more than any of his closest confidants, because he told me all the stories about his exile, and I wrote them all down in my diary.
For sure, man, you know him not, sir. I am more familiar with the King. I am more familiar with these people here. I have been painted by Van Dyck, you know.
How fancy! But to Charles, portrait, painting, status, they matter not to you.
Okay, come man. Status is all that matters to the King. If status matters not to the King, then why did he spend all yesterday refusing to eat anything but squash?
You're here the man of the people.
A man of the people? You have him wrong, sir. The King is not a man of the people. He's a hereditary monarch. He is a breeding country king.
We are all aware of his divinity and what he has by his own rights and birthright. But are we aware of the trials and tribulations he is going through? What makes him like any one of us?
We are, sir. We don't need to hear them from you.
No.
You're nothing but a...
I don't think you realize.
Scribbler.
Oh, what I scribbled were stories of his trials, of his confidence, of his battle. For instance, has he told you the story on how he escaped the country after the Battle of Worcester?
Oh, Mr. Beacon, you'll have to do better than that. Everyone has heard the story of how the King escaped the country after the Battle of Worcester.
Yes, but has he told you from his very own mouth how he escaped the country after the Battle of Worcester? Then allow me to elucidate you on all the secrets, salacious, scandalous details about how Charles II escaped the country after the Battle of Worcester.
Very well, Mr. Beacon.
So come closer. My voice can only travel so far. And allow me to tell you a story of faith, escape, heroes, romance, and me, Samuel King. The story of how our soon-to-be Charles II escaped.
Charles II! No!
We cannot have a woman on stage.
Mr. Pete, you did not just say that.
Well, it
King
is.
Charles II loves to see women on the stage. You should know that you're so close to him. And spending time with him on his royal yacht. Women are allowed on the stage now, and especially me, Nell Gwynn, one of the most famous actresses in all of London.
Oh, that's that. Very good. I am no woman. I'm a lady. I'm Lady Margaret Cavendish, Duchess of Newcastle. I happen to be sentenced, a fan who have read my poems. I am a prolific poet, playwright, author. I have written letters, literary critiques. I'm even working on some natural philosophy at the moment. So I'm quite sure I can manage the black.
Let's see what you can do.
I should be on.
Well, most importantly of all, it's a story about how a young, callow youth became the lasciviously loping, loquacious, scandal chops of a king that we all know and love today. It was first told to me, Samuel Pepys, aboard the Royal Yacht.
You see, people, what happened was
Yes?
civil war.
Charles's father, Charles No. 1, was executed. Sorry, but here was Charles Huxley No. 2, back for the throne. Charles has just 16,000 men, whilst on the other side, Oliver Cromwell has over 30,000. Charles is holed up in Worcester. Cromwell has surrounded the city and cut off the king's escape to London. The choice for Charles is...
Star! Right or star?
Worcester, my lord, is well defended by rivers and a great city walls.
Shut up, Killigrew! This is my story. Charles climbs the tower and to the cathedral, and, with spyglass in hand, looks out at the enemy encampment. Judging the time is right, he orders his soldiers to charge out of the gate, and... The king fought on foot alongside his men. When their guns ran out of ammo, they fought with pikes. What's that? That sort of pike? What are you doing? When they were too close for pikes, they fought with their butts. Butts of their muskets. However, Cromwell countered, driving the royalists back inside the wall. Charles only just made it back, climbing through the wheels of an upturned wagon.
Eels? Did you say eels?
No, I said wheels, man, wheels. Stop playing with the eel. From here, Charles's army collapsed. He implored his soldiers to continue fighting.
Fight for your king!
But they would not.
I would rather you shoot me
He said,
than let me live to see the consequences of this day!
Charles fought on valiantly. There go the eel. There was vicious hand-to-hand fighting. The streets ran with blood. Finally, he contemplated escape. If he was not to be killed on the battlefield, he would not allow himself to be taken prisoner. So, he rushed back to his lodging, grabbed some small belongings, and fled out of the back door, just as armed guards were coming in through the front. Now! He had to escape, but it was tricky. He was picked from the road, had a big, huge, beautiful nose, and the most wonderfully prominent lower lip that you've ever seen on any specimen of a man. So much bigger.
The king disguised himself as a peasant. He wrapped himself in a shawl. He crammed his feet into ill-fitting shoes. He smeared his face with poo. And he waited for darkness.
That's where I draw the line! Who?
Oh, well, I'll do it. My shoes are really bad and don't fit anyway, so... I'm the king!
And so, night fell.
Or, if you want to be more poetic about it,
No, we don't need to be...
the ashamed sun plunged his affrighted head into the depths of the Severn, ready to spot and stain those guilty stables with royal blood. And the night was meanwhile...
Charles wanted to head back to London and the Tower, the royal fortress. But this was impossible. Charles had with him 3 important friends.
Friends! Where are my friends?
There was Lord Derby.
Darby! Stop! Come here now!
There was Buckingham.
Bucky! Get over here!
And Lauderdale.
Good to see you, Lord!
Lord Derby had the great suggestion to hide out at Boscobel House, home of the Penderell family.
Brilliant thinking, Darby!
Are we safe there?
Now, to get to Boscobel, over there where the lawn is, we must take our royal steed. Get on your horses, men! Get on your horses! And follow your king! Yeah!
Well done, everyone!
Maybe you should go a bit more discreetly. Come on, let's follow them. Right along the fence to continue the story of how Charles II escaped.
Here we are in Boscobel. we must sit up.
And so they said their goodbyes. Aye. Lord Buckingham made it safely to France. Hooray! A triumphant journey. Lauderdale, there you are, Lauderdale, was captured and imprisoned. Don't worry, you'll get out today. And Lord Derby, where would we be without Lord Derby? Executed for treason.
Sorry, Derby.
Happens to the best of us. Meanwhile, Charles disguised himself as a farmhand and got to work. What are you doing?
I don't know what this is.
It's a slave. He got to work.
Hey.
Oh my God. Meanwhile, the parliamentary army was getting closer. A maid from the farm was questioned as to whether she had seen Charles.
Have you seen the wannabe King, Charles Stuart? No.
Luckily, they held their nerve. A few days later, a colonel from Charles's army arrived at Boston.
The parliamentary army is treated in my houses.
You guys.
But I suggest we hide in yonder tree.
All day they hid together in that tree. When Charles got tired, he rested his head in the colonel's lap.
Oh no! It's beautiful, isn't it?
Oh no, he's gone again. Sorry, he's gone again. He's gone again. He's gone. We've lost him. Charles and the colonel could see Cromwell's army while they were peeping through the trees. They heard them discussing what they would do if ever they got their hands upon Charles Stuart. And so they tried not to move or make a sound and prayed that the branches would hold their weight. The next day, they made a break for another safe house.
My liege, can you blame the horse to go heavily when it has to wait 3 kingdoms upon its back?
Then they had to hide in a street. Then Charles had to disguise himself as a servant and take a horse to a blacksmith.
That's how gets it hang.
It's darling.
Then they had to nonchalantly weave their way through a whole parliamentary cavalry regiment that were having a drink outside of a tavern. That's all of you. Cheers! Come again! Down with
They nonchalantly.
Down with Charles Stuart!
Inconspicuously, without making fools of themselves. Then, well, there were many other events. Until Charles arrived in Shoreham, where a ship was waiting.
Shoreham. Now that's a whole 56 miles away, so we have to take our horses. So get on your horses then.
The horses, everyone?
Get on your horses.
Never ridden a horse
I'm
before.
not going without you. Follow me. Yeah!
What a journey it was! But he was recognized at the last moment by an innkeeper. Charles feared he was turning in. However, so as dawn broke over a calm sea, Charles finally escaped from England. Just 2 hours later, Cromwell's men arrived in Shoreham and when the king finally returned to England, it was now to bonfires and celebration! I think a little part of the reason why he has been so accepted is because he has been among his people. He has walked with the common man. He has fled through the fields with Protestants. He has holed up with Catholics. He has proven himself a dashing and daring prince like none other, and most importantly of all,
I want that son, Christmas, the maypole.
every monarch stays at the tower the night before their coronation. Charles is going to be frightened. He's going to sneak in the morning and pretend. Then process to Westminster Abbey to be crowned our merry monarch, Charles II. God save the King!
God save the King!
God save me!
And God save all of you, my friends, for enduring.
Thank you for watching our